Good morning, and thank you very much for making on today's very special podcast. We're having military women in STEM. For women out there that are looking to get out of the military or they're currently military, looking for options as they consider their next career forward. Technology is the way to go. And we're going to convince you of that today. But more importantly, there is programs out there are people out there that understand the need to invest in women in military to get into STEM. And that's why we're here today. As you're going to see from our illustrious panel that has taken time out of the day to join, it is about everybody working together. This is a cause that all of us truly believe in. Men, women, former military families, people truly believe that this is a space worth investing into. Women in military, there's options for you. There's schools available. There's programs available for you in order to get into this exciting field. And one of the things really importantly I really hope that everyone takes to heart today in this podcast is that this is a community of people that want to help, that want to reach out, that have created opportunities, created programs to help women in military know that you're not alone. We know a lot of women in military today. Many of them are getting out as single parents. Many of them are getting out with not have any idea what to do with themselves, but they have so much experience in military that programs that we're going to be discussing today help bring that experience out and help you move forward with some very, very positive opportunities looking forward as well. Well, thank you for joining on today's podcast today. I have the esteemed honor of inviting a very dear friend, Kara, and let me get her name right, Sturdevant from the California Institute of Art of Technology. She handles a lot of the outreach military programs. Kara, good morning. Thank you very much for agreeing to be the moderator today.
Good morning. I'm very happy to be here.
Excellent. Well, I'll leave it up to you to introduce our illustrious panel today, but I thank you, and I'll look forward to closing comments as well.
Thank you so much, John. So today we're very excited to have Kathryn Warren. She's an ambassador for the Foundation of Women Warriors, done lots of work in the transitioning service members. She's also worked Onward to Opportunity through Syracuse University. And also we have Adam Couch, partner of Socium Security, both former Marines, board member of the Foundation for Women Warriors as well, and volunteers as cybersecurity mentor to veterans and college students. Good morning, both of you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kara. Good morning.
So I'd like to just start off and ask both of you, what inspired you from going active duty service member to working with a focus on helping women as they're transitioning out of the military, specifically with STEM? Tell me what's motivated that.
Well, I know for myself, I had an easier time than most probably getting out of the Marine Corps, simply due to the fact that I had directly transferable skills. But at the same time, I wasn't really sure how I was going to get to where I wanted to go. And I have had a lot of success because of really the political affairs and some of the opportunities I've been given because of my military affiliation and experience. And I just found it, like the best way to give back was to encourage others, or at least connect them to either people on my network or other opportunities to point them in the right direction, really to hopefully inspire and give people some hope.
That's fantastic. So it sounds like you kind of had a good path laid out for you and wanted to help others. I think mentorship and helping others is just one of my favorite ways to give back. We've got some fantastic programs here at California Institute of Arts and Technology that focus specifically on service members' mentorships. Kathryn, tell me, how did you get involved with the foundation?
Unlike Adam, and it's interesting you say this, unlike Adam, my departure from the military was a little bit more uncertain. And what I mean by that was there was so much out there, yet I didn't know what I wanted to do. And honestly, along the way, I was educated. I had a great career, while on active duty in the Marine Corps. I had a skill set that I didn't really realize was a transferable skill set once I left the military. And somehow along the way, I found myself working with not only transitioning service members who were leaving all branches of service, but with our military spouse community, military families, the Guard, the Reserve, so on and so forth. And so honestly, the last 6 years of my life have been devoted to that space and helping people recognize that there is professional opportunity after service, and purpose does go along with it. But specifically, really encouraging folks to participate in STEM-related industries and STEM-related occupations. And I think that's something that's just very important to me because it took me several years to realize that I kind of missed my opportunity. I didn't know when I left the service.
Yeah, it's very interesting that you say that because we work also with the transitioning class for the separating military members. And there's a lot of skills that you learn in service that it's not easy always to transition those onto a resume or be able to speak of them. So those are some areas and some skills that that really would be helpful to some of the service members.
Absolutely. And it's interesting when you ask why. It's mainly, it starts with like self-reflection. And along this journey, I've had a lot of that. I discovered Foundation for Women Warriors. And so that's given me the opportunity not only give back collectively to the military connected community, but with Foundation for Women Warriors, I'm able to hone in a little bit more with our women veterans.
And Adam, tell us, what does Foundation for Women Warriors do?
Yeah, it's a nonprofit based here in Southern California that raises money and awareness, opportunity for these women warriors when they're struggling with things like maybe it's childcare to help take care of their children while they're going to school or getting training, or they're at work, financial aid maybe during a time of hardship, a lot of career coaching. And so it's an overall support system that partners with the community to serve this underserved group of veterans.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Kathryn, for the audience, can you explain what STEM means?
So STEM, when you break it down, you have your science, your technology, you have your engineering, and your mathematics. And I know STEAM has been popping up as well, where you're adding arts in there as well. But basically, getting our women veterans and our military connected community at whole to explore and be curious about STEM-related opportunities that are available for them.
And would you say that service members that work in other fields besides, like, let's say IT, if there's a service member that hasn't done IT work in the military, do you think they'd be a good candidate to move into the IT space after service?
Kara, absolutely. And it goes back to what we refer to as transferable skills. Going back to myself and knowing yourself, I knew all the things that I was good at, yet, how do I translate that into another occupation? And if you really sit down and look at career exploration and professional development, we're really doing an industry change. And so with that industry change, you're able to capitalize on everything that you've done previously, both personally and professionally in your career, and translate those skills, into a new occupation. I think all of us know that technology type careers are really the way to go for our future. And it's really getting our women veterans to understand that you have those skills. It's just a matter of finding the organizations that can help you get there, and the confidence to help you achieve those goals.
Absolutely. One of the things that we do here at California Institute of Arts and Technology is we start our students from the ground up. So they start with like IT fundamentals class. Let's show you how to turn on a computer, all the way into the more advanced classes that we pair with the industry certifications. And then we also work on the soft skills, resume preparation. But another great thing that we do is partner with companies like ACP that specifically mentors both service members and spouses. I love that you mentioned the spouses, because we know that those are the hardworking ones behind the service members. Adam, when you're looking to hire somebody for your company, talk to us a little bit about that. Are women veterans something that you'd be open to looking at?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's such a wide range now. So I'm in cybersecurity. If you look at cybersecurity, it's really more of a discipline that sprouted out of IT. If you really boil it down, there's IT people doing cybersecurity tasks. Now you have cybersecurity as its own career field, and within that, you could argue there's 15 to 25-ish sub disciplines that you can make a career out of. But to Kathryn's point, it's understanding what are your foundational and transferable skills. Also having your own story to tell. I think if you are trying to go into a specialized field like cybersecurity or a niche within cybersecurity, and what we look for are exactly that, transferable skills. So if it's somebody that is new to the field, what is your story? I've hired people that are coming from the restaurant industry, servers and bartenders, great transferable skills. If you know how to use a computer, even better. But you can have somebody with a legal or HR background, especially with some of the audit and governance functions in cybersecurity, very transferable. You don't have to be an engineer. You don't have to come from a coding background. Naturally, it does help to understand how the systems come together, but it's nothing that you can't figure out. And something that I used to do is command and control system, or C2 systems instruction. And I used to tell people, and these were Marines and sailors that we were teaching, and they would hem and haw about having to learn a new system. And what I tell them is nobody comes out of the womb knowing how to use a computer or what a network is, right? And if you can use Instagram or Facebook or online banking, then you can sure as heck figure out all these other systems in technology.
I love that you said that. And I really like that you mentioned the transferable skills like restaurants or HR. Not everybody realizes the skills that you build in these other areas can transfer very well into a lucrative career like IT, cybersecurity, coding. And I know one of the big fears is money. How am I going to pay for it? Can I afford it? Time. Single parents, who's going to watch my children? How am I going to pay for childcare while I'm can I go to school if I have to work? How can I do all of this? It's a lot of fear around the unknown, but there's so many different programs available and out there. Here at CIAT, we have our Women in Tech Scholarship. We have lots of in-house scholarships. There's programs like SkillBridge in the military that assist with learning those skills while you transition. There's lots of different ways and help available. And I think it's about connecting with someone like one of us who care, who know the path, and who will show you, look, here's some different things that you could do. Here's some places you can reach out to find support. Talk to us a little bit about some of those paths that you know of that can help.
I'd love to share, Kara. There's so many different opportunities for folks to earn cybersecurity or IT related certifications. I spent a lot of my time recently professionally working for Syracuse University's Institute for Veterans and Military Families. And the program there is called Onward to Opportunity, where you're able to earn a relevant in-demand certification at no cost to you, or with any cost of GI benefits or anything of that nature. And the certification coursework is done online. It's done on your own time. So maybe for women veterans who have crazy chaotic schedules, or maybe children are involved. I've had some amazing experiences where people really carve out and are very intentional and purposeful with their times to get that certification coursework done. There's another program called CyberVets that partners with Cisco, where there's opportunity to earn Cisco type related certifications, as well as Vets in Tech. And all three of these organizations, again, don't require any use of VA benefits or any money out of pocket. It's all grant funded.
And online, you said? That's fantastic. I know that our programs here, they're offered 100% online, and they're designed for working adults. One of the things that we do is we like to get our students working in the IT field while they're still in school. My role specifically, I'm the academic partnerships liaison, so I connect with different corporations, veteran nonprofits, and set up those relationships. So we've got some exciting relationships, General Dynamic, Raytheon, and we assist preparing the students specifically with what they're looking for in their candidates so that they can work while attending school. And some of these programs that you mentioned, they're really fantastic. And I think it's all about getting to know the individual that we're talking to, hearing their story and what their goals are, and then just getting all the resources that we've gathered and just supporting them. And then in the future, they become in a position to mentor the next upcoming person. I mean, that's really what lights my fire. That's what I'm passionate about, is helping someone to the point where then they can pay it forward.
Absolutely.
So Adam, tell us a little bit more about what you do with the foundation.
Well, one of my big initiatives is we host a golf tournament to raise funds for the foundation that they can in turn purpose those funds, one for operations, but then to give out for whether child care or the financial aid.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of my time and energy within the business is actually spent what I call connecting the dots, right? It's connecting the dots for some of our business partners, our employees to the work, but also externally with the foundation, we look at how corporations can then partner with them to either participate in career coaching, some of these fundraising events. It's transitioning service members into roles that they might be appropriate for. Maybe that's internships. So it's just getting the collective, everything moving in one direction at the same time. I do a golf tournament because I like golf, and I know a lot of people that the companies like to spend money on that thing. But again, it's getting everything going in the same direction. It kind of creates an efficiency for business and nonprofit.
So what would you say to somebody that wants to help out or play golf and help out?
Well, I think anybody can help no matter how much time they have, right? That's the beauty of giving back, is that you can do as much of it as you want and you don't have to spend money. I mean, time is money, but you can literally spend an hour a week, or you could do it as a career. So if the golf stuff, we can give out that link maybe with a podcast for the tournament. But specific to veteran mentorship, you can sign up for things like Veterati and literally put your calendar out there as a veteran and say, I'm available for this hour every Tuesday, and people will find you. Right. Mm-hmm. And they will take your time that you've allotted, and they will ask you questions. And it doesn't take a lot of effort. You just have to accept the phone call. So things like that, or just opening yourself up on LinkedIn and making yourself available for conversation is always good.
And what about individuals who are separating or starting to prepare for their separation, or veterans that are looking how to take the next step, what to do? What would we recommend for that?
It's interesting. I go back to being curious, Kara. There is so much out there. You just have to be willing to sit down and check out some of these great resources that are available to you. Specifically for Foundation for Women Warriors, if you have an interest in women veterans, reach out to the organization. It's so great to see this year we have an ambassador that's living in North Carolina. And so location and geographical footprint, I think COVID was that silver lining with the virtual piece, where it's opened so many doors for being able to help. But I would encourage, first and foremost, go back to your base, and look at programs that are available. And then also, start Googling, career development, professional development, get a mentor through American Corporate Partners.
Mhm.
There's so many different ways to wrap this up. And it's really interesting with some of the research I've looked at this past year. We have pathways, but it's mentorship that really gets our women veterans into these STEM-related, IT-related occupations.
I agree. Mentorship is everything. And I think with anybody that's interested in a career in IT, cybersecurity, they should definitely check out our website, CIAT.edu. There's a lot of great paths. Call me directly. I'll be happy to help. We teach you the skills. We help you get certified. We pay for your certification exams, unlimited attempts. No other school offers that. It's a great investment in our students, because at the end of the day, what we want is to see people succeed so that they can then help more people succeed.
Very true. Right. And I think one of the things that's interesting, about what's available is that this was not the case 20, 25 years ago. Many of us that got out in the 1980s remember that when we did our separation at Camp Pendleton, it was a beaten down, broken down building right near Mainside. And you showed up and the guy goes, okay, what do you want to know? All of us asked the most important question: how do we use the housing benefit? Other than that, there was nothing much available. But what was interesting, though, is that it's changed so much. And it changed because education became critical. The ability to have more benefits for education was obviously and of course you have, the transition time where people have trusted education institutions that have gone to these veterans and say, hey, you're about to get out, come spend your GI money with us. You're going to get, a certificate, and you're going to get a job guaranteed. Right. So there has been a, real setback as far as the education institutions and others that, that have really had, a kind of a negative impact on veterans. Now you see programs like California Institute of Art and Technology. You've seen Syracuse University, George Mason University in Northern Virginia. And of course, the Foundation for Women Warriors and organizations have really gone out and said, no, we understand where you're coming from. We know it's tough to get out of the military. It's not easy, especially in this economy, but there's programs you can trust. And I think when people hear that, when these veteran women hear that you can trust people again, you can trust somebody that's going to be there for you. That's why we do these types of podcasts. We want to reach out and say, it's not a women problem, man problem. It's a people problem. It's a people solution. We want to be part of a solution to help. And I really have to thank you guys for wanting to come on today and really help spread your story about women in STEM, because there is so many good things out there. I'm motivated to, reach out to people. Adam, I play golf. So, I get part of your golf thing, but I got to tell you, the fact that you all take the time out of your day to network with companies like Kara does, and Kathryn with your mentorship, and Adam with your reach out programs, is about really making a difference for women in military. And I thank you guys for what you do for that. That means a lot, not only to me, but for people that are just waiting to get out of military going, what am I going to do? Well, first thing, and I like it, Google.
Yeah,
Do a quick Google. There's some programs there, but really do your investigation. Know that there's some out there that may not be that great, and there's others out there that are fantastic. So that's kind of our goal of the podcast, is to get some good information in front of people as well.
Yeah. I also think that the transition period is much longer nowadays. You see people reaching out. I get people reaching out to me a year before they're getting out, which I think is fantastic. And that's something that people need to understand, is these really are journeys, right? And any woman can be in STEM if you would like to be in STEM.
Yes.
And it's our jobs to support you at that transition, but it is a commitment as well. And the sooner you get started, the sooner you get to where you want to be.
And it's still the lowest unemployment, even with the layoffs that everyone has read about with Facebook and Google and everybody doing major layoff. It's like that to even make a dent on how many open recs there still are. This is still a less than 1% unemployment. It is a booming career. Great, career opportunities are all over the place. Doesn't matter where you came from. Doesn't matter where you started. It's where you end up, right? And this is a journey to be able to get that. So, Adam, I do appreciate that comment, because it is a journey. But the nice thing is there is something valuable at the end of the rainbow, right? There's salaries, commission, opportunities, travel, education benefits, and things that are there. So, STEM is definitely not only going to be the thing of today, but obviously thanks to artificial intelligence, it's going to be the thing of tomorrow as well. So there'll be a separate podcast. We'll cover that later on. But you all, thank you very much for being a Kathryn, Adam, Kara. Thank you very much for sharing your resources, your story, but more importantly, thank you very much for sharing your time with it today to be able to help promote women in STEM military.
Absolutely. So glad to be here. And one last thing is it doesn't take 4 years. If you're interested in getting into STEM, it's not, you don't have to go to school for 4 years and then do it. You can start getting your skills. You can connect with, you don't even have to necessarily use student loans or your GI Bill. There is lots of paths that can get you going relatively soon. If you're curious, like Kathryn said, and you're willing to do the work, like Adam said, you know,
It's there.
absolutely. Yeah,
It's there. Very much there.
absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for making it on this podcast of Military Women in STEM. We thank you very much for being on this as well. We'll have other future podcasts as well for women in STEM as well coming in the summer. But thank you for coming on the military edition of Women in STEM. Have a wonderful day today.